Definitely one of the hot topics that's been on everybody who is a member of the industry, and definitely stakeholders as well as consumers. They've all been interested in what's going to happen come Carnival 2021 and how are we going to be able to cure our tobacco, because some of us travel all across the world all year round for carnivals, various carnivals, and that hasn't been able to happen this year. And of course, going into 2021, we don't know what's going to happen with anywhere else, but we know for Trinidad, right now, as it stands, there's not going to be any carnival the way we knew it before. Here to tell us a little bit more about what the possibilities are and maybe what the plans are as well, we have Jules Sobion, the Commander-in-Chief of Caesar's Army, a.k.a. Julius Caesar himself. Good morning, Jules.
Good morning, Jaron.
How you doing? How you doing this morning, Jules?
I'm good. Holding firm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's start at the beginning of 8 months ago. How did the pandemic affect the way that Caesar's Army operates?
Well, I mean, before I get into that question, Jaron, I think I should take a moment to outline the current realities of the event and entertainment industry.
Right.
That I have been a part of for over a decade, in various local, regional, and international markets.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's important to assess this whole situation on a micro and macro level. So globally, we understand that COVID-19 has indefinitely stalled the live event experience. We know that as a fact.
Right.
Nationally, festival tourism or even event tourism will be affected globally. So in a local context, that includes Trinidad and Tobago's Carnival, which sets the tone of expectations for other carnivals around the world.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, from a micro level, we have the community. Like everyone else, Caesar's Army has had to reimagine their purpose, their functionality, and their suitability in the face of this digital transformation, So the facts are the pandemic has changed us as consumers and our patterns of consumption. We have been ushered into an era of where digital transformation and digital technology has become an integral part of our daily lives, from children to adults, from school to home, Sunday to Sunday. We cannot live without it, And in the absence of physical events, we have to find new ways of doing things that keep us connected and safe. So ideally, I mean, that is the dilemma at this point in time, but this is the new normal, and we have to embrace change as best as possible.
Definitely. But, with all the digital things that are happening, is that where you see things going for Carnival 2021, for example?
Well, I mean, in terms of the digital transformation or the digital age that has come about of this new world, I think it's something that we really need to consider.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the absence of live events, for example, there's going to be a void. There's going to be a void that needs to be filled. And you have to look at the opportunities rather than the threats. In terms of fulfillment of that void, we need to be able to embrace what is this new world of today and utilize it in the best way possible. So for me, I look at it as an opportunity for us to, let's just say, persons would have been able to come to Trinidad and Tobago and probably just understand part of the culture. This is a perfect opportunity for us now to embrace a holistic approach to our culture. So we can use that via the virtual space. And that's why I believe it has its space, it has its place in Trinidad and Tobago. And I mean, this is a part of pivoting and transforming, because Caesar's Army in particular would have been based on the live event experience. I had to pivot and transform my company alongside my colleagues. We had to assess the situation, we had to strategize. And in terms of pivoting, we created a new company called Creative, which is basically using the power of experience, not for live events anymore or festivals, but using the power of experience to corporate clients and corporate customers who are now trying to explore this new age of digital embracing or digital technology, because live events are now void.
Yeah.
These corporate sponsors, for example, and I'm not limiting it to corporate sponsors or marketing managers, they are now trying to explore this new world of today. So for me as a company, I had to pivot and use my same power of experience in a different fashion. So even if I return to a sense of normalcy, I can still use the power of experience for my live events and festivals. But now I am pivoting and transforming and embracing this new world of tomorrow, still using the power of experience in a different way.
Right.
So ideally, I think that is something that should be adopted, not just by myself, and not just by the members or the stakeholders of the carnival industry, but for the community itself. We need to embrace this new world of today, utilizing the opportunities. Yes, there are threats, but utilize the power of what you do best in this new world.
So, Jules, just now you mentioned, us using the opportunity to be able to basically give the world or show the world our culture and what it can be and what it is. But a big part of our culture is the experience that you actually feel. Because, around Carnival time, there's a something in the air that you can't quite put your hands on. It's not tangible, but it's a feeling. From the time the people, whoever's coming into the country, from the time they touch down, they feel it in the atmosphere. How do we package that part of the experience, the part that is innately inside of all of us and around us in the air? How do we capture that and put it online?
I think Marshall Montano said it best. It's a feeling. You can't really replace that feeling, that carnival spirit that is within us. You can't really, it cannot be explained and it cannot be replicated in this new digital format. What I do believe, though, is that 2021 was supposed to be a bumper year. 2020 actually, 2021, because 2020, which was the last carnival of 2020, first and last, was an exceptional year for us. I'm talking about an exceptional year. The tourist arrivals, the spirit, it was a bumper year. So we were expecting 2021 to be magnificent. Yeah. And knowing that the pandemic has unleashed itself, unfortunately, that is a demise, right? Right. So what we need to do is that we can't replicate that spirit of Carnival. And I'm not just speaking from an event perspective or a mass perspective. I'm speaking from the music perspective. I'm speaking about the steel pan perspective. I'm speaking about the traditional aspect of Carnival, the heritage aspect. What we need to do, though, is to utilize this age of digital transformation to highlight every aspect that we can in terms of a holistic carnival, our culture, so that the world, in replacement of this void, the world can see what Carnival means to us. So I'm not trying to say that a virtual product is there to replace the spirit that you're speaking about in terms of that feeling. I am saying that in this age of digital transformation, we need to capitalize on the opportunity to be able to show the world. Let's say we had 1 million persons visiting here. We can now show a product that can have the eyesight, the imagination, the awareness of 55 million persons getting to really understand what TNT's culture is about, what TNT Carnival is really all about. And it's going to take a holistic and a cohesive strategy and approach to make sure that is fulfilled. And that is what I'm pushing in terms of a Together in Carnival.
Nice. I'm glad you went there, because I saw you posing in a picture with a gentleman who was on the show talking very similar to how you were speaking there just now, Rubadiri Victor. And I saw you all posing in a picture together talking about Together in Carnival. What is Together in Carnival? Tell us about that.
Together in Carnival is basically, we are in the fulfillment of the void. Yeah. In terms of Carnival 2021, remember the Honorable Prime Minister said, unless the winds of change blow, we will not have a live Carnival, right? Yeah. So the unification of stakeholders was necessary. I'm talking about from a government level, I'm talking about from a
Private
heritage
sector.
level.
Yeah.
I'm talking about private sector. I'm talking about even corporate Trinidad. There is a need for us to come together, unite, to have this united front. And I'm not saying this is a virtual carnival that we would like to have. This is a virtual product that we would like to create that would at least highlight and showcase the holistic culture of Trinidad and Tobago. And I believe that it was, myself and Rubadiri is not the be-all and end-all of this. This is just a sign of, I am understanding that Rubadiri is representing the Artist Coalition. He represents the traditional aspect to some particular perspective. I am involved in the events and the mass. So that shake hands or that unification was just showing a sign of embrace that we are willing to work together to create this virtual product for brand TNT. And now what we want to do is to engage stakeholders.
So tell me, Jules, we don't have much time, Jules, but tell me, how can people who are interested in being a part of this conversation, how can they get onto you guys?
Basically, together in Carnival at Gmail, express your interest there. We are planning to have a stakeholder discussion this weekend, where we are inviting everyone to have their voices heard, give their input, and hopefully we will be able to move from step 1 to step 2 because time is limited, so we can move together in Carnival.
All right, Jules, well, I want to thank you very much for joining us this morning. And of course, together in Carnival, we're going to check it out. And everybody who's interested, please send them an email, be a part of the conversation. Let's see how we can make this thing happen to the best possibility that we can, make the best product, as we say. So, Jules, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too, my lord. Blessings.
Yeah, man.
Blessings, man, Jules.
All right, guys. So